Hello everyone, I'm Favedi, welcoming you to a new episode of Super Paper Mario. In the last episode, we completed the summer challenge of 100, and I've been doing stuff towards completion since then. Just a little update on how I'm going. I got 127 cards so far, and I got some 34 out of 96 recipes, so more than a third. So that's alright. This episode, however, I got enough coins this time around. I made sure. So, you're here for a story? So yeah, I have a story called Pit of 100 Trials for 10 coins. We're gonna be listening to this guy's stories. I'll bite. So yeah, you know about the Pit of 100 Trials? It's supposedly this 100-room labyrinth underneath this very town. Many have searched for the entrance, but it still remains hidden. The only clue we have is this saying from the ancients. Heat seekers, go to the town outskirts, the lowest floor, and seek hidden platforms. It sounds sort of like the clue I gave you earlier, doesn't it? What's all this stuff about hidden platforms anyway? If you find out, let me know. I'm tapped. Okay. Flipside history. Okay, we're starting to get to the backstory of the game, so let's listen to it. So yeah, Flipside is a town between dimensions created by the ancients. You can open up paths to many worlds from here as the ancients designed it. And you've seen the white tower in the middle of Flipside, right? It controls the flow of dimensional energy so it can beam people to worlds. I think that's why the doors to other worlds appear up near the tower. I hear there's another version of the tower, a dark one. I wonder where the dark tower is. Yeah, I admit I don't know. Do you? Okay, next story please. More Flipside secrets. So yeah, the town of Flipside still has so many secrets to hide. I just found this passage not too long ago. Flip is flop. If you cannot break through in flip, you should try it in flop. Now I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it'll lead you to something pretty good, so go try it out. The Hero Legend. The ancients traveled to many worlds to entrust people with pure hearts. It was to keep them safe from destruction or misuse by those with evil hearts. The pure hearts were drawn by their own power toward those strong with love. The ancients used this trait to find suitable gardens in each world. And a few romances also began as a result of these little journeys. Many of the ancients who found gardens fell in love with those they met. And so they lived their days happily in the world they visited out of duty. This is how the legend of the hero was passed down to future generations. Well, that's quite a feat, I must admit. More stylish moves? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stylish? Yeah! So yeah, you master all of the super graceful stylish moves. After stopping a foe, moving in different ways will in midair to get stylish. Doing a bunch of them is a really high score, so it's worth it. Today I'll tell you about some special moves that are really hard to do. After stomping the enemy, alternatingly tilt left and right while in midair. You should perform more amazing stylish moves than you've ever seen. But make sure you don't get too excited and throw the use the strap. That's a little cool. That's a little bit cool that this guy gives you a lot of tips. Pixels. Okay, this is where I want you guys to pay attention. At least a little bit. So yeah, you know about pixels, right? Heh, yeah, I see that you do. And those wily ancients were smart, but not too strong. They needed muscle. So they made the pixels for anything physical they couldn't do on their own. With the help of the pixels, the ancients built amazing worlds. But now that technology is mostly lost, as the pixels are scattered and forgotten. There are even some original pixels, stronger than the rest, who still wait to be found. I see you found the pixel already, but there are others you haven't found yet. I'm tapped. Well, I don't know for that. Merlin's love life. Oh, sure, I want to hear that. So yeah, those ancients were passionate and romantic. Did I already tell you that? Even Merlin, their descendant, is wild for love, you know. Why, he had quite a thing for Saffron, the cook. He went to her cooking shop every day and wooed her constantly. He finally broke down and confessed his love for her, and here's what she said. If you can finish an entire serving of my Saffron special galactic meal, I'll date you. And this is one of the biggest, most filling dishes anyone's ever seen, mind you. But he dug right in. According to spectators, he finished all but a sprig of parsley left on the plate. Just then, some poor girl appeared in town who was severely injured. Merlin had to help her, so Saffron let him... Merlin had to help her, so Saffron let him suspend the challenge. I don't know what happened to that girl next. But then Merlin became engrossed in his duties and studies, and he wasn't wooed since. Maybe he'll get back to it when the world is peaceful and safe again. Well, that story talks about Tippy, so one could say Tippy made Merlin not fall in love. Well, not get his love at least. The end of the world. So yeah, ever heard of the Sammer Kingdom? The king there controls an army of 100 loyal soldiers. Each one has a different personality and unique skills. King Sammer was entrusted with a pure heart by Merlimina's younger sister. She was madly in love with King Sammer I, so they married and had 100 kids. The 100 princes and their royal parents ushered in an era of prosperity. Therefore, the number 100 became important to the current king. Imagine all the budding young romances with 100 strapping princes around. The kingdom of that era would have had no problem fighting our current woes. Well, that is... 100 kids is way too much, mister. More pixels. I'll bite. So yeah, you know all about pixels by now, am I right? Yeah, sure you do. They were a new form of life created as tools to help the ancients' lives. But seriously, they're way more useful than any normal tools. Being able to think on their own made them more useful and problematic. There was always the fear that if they grew too wise, they'd ignore their masters. Some say the original pixel personalities were created to prevent this. There were some very bright pixels, but then something dramatic happened, and the pixel personalities changed. I wonder what happened. If you find out, let me know. Well... Restoring pure hearts. I think this is about JDs. So yeah, the pure hearts are powerful treasures created by the ancients. The secret of that power is the ability to detect and amplify love energy. Some among the ancients believed strongly that the power of love was infinite. They believed this power would be so great that no forces could ever defeat it. They believed it would last and survive unchanged for the 1500 years prophesied. This is what they believed about the power of love, the power of the pure hearts. As long as there's love in the world, the pure hearts can overcome any setback. You could say the ancients believed in love abiding. Kind of romantic, really. Well, that's nice. Returning to peace. The void disappeared and ruined worlds have returned. It's like a miracle. You should go check out the various worlds to see how wonderful they are. You might even see people you thought you'd never meet again. The martial arts competition in the Sammer Kingdom is even up and running again. If you beat all 100 warriors, I bet you get a fantastic prize. Man, I've gone there now. Not really. Do you think anyone could do it? I'd love to meet the winner. You're doing it. I'm the winner. More pit of 100 trials. Yes, please. So yeah, there's a pit of 100 trials below town somewhere. It was used by the ancients to research the power of the pure hearts. Their experiments involved all sorts of really nasty beasties down there. So they stoked it with nasties from all the different worlds. I'd recommend only going if you're really serious about it, but there's a secret treasure of the ancients hidden down there somewhere. If you feel up to the task, you should go for it. Oh. Oh. Why? Really? Do you not have any more stories? Well, that's kind of a letdown because we've not yet gotten to the thing that I really wanted you to know, guys. Let me see if I can get him to say it. Or maybe I can talk to him. Melody's master, the internet, yours, that, it's just... Okay, yes. Tilt Island. Okay, do you have more stories? No, you don't have any more stories. Okay, perhaps I gotta go do something else in the meantime. Okay. That, however, covered like 10 minutes, which is really nice. Now, let me go to Flopside so that I can introduce you to something that we'll start covering. next episode, and that would be it. However, this is not the elevator to Flopside. Thank you. Not to Flipside, the elevator to Flopside. It's the elevator to the top of Flipside so that I can go to Flopside. Damn it! Damn it! There's no elevator to Flopside, mister. You're all wrong all the time. There you go. Go inside, diddle doom, diddle doom, diddle doom. And go the way down. Boom, boom. Okay. Well, maybe not next episode, because next episode will be minigames. There's minigames in here. So yeah, we're gonna go... This is the one. No, I don't want to talk to you. Get away. Okay. We're all the way here. Well, now, if you go inside of this place, there's another bar. Hello, mister. Do you have more stories? Come on, hang loose. This is the underground, over there. I'm the owner of this pad. The name's Carson, so okay, good to see you, etc. Listen, my line of work I hear gossip. Even gossip I don't give a hoot about. But who knows, somebody might care about this stuff. Maybe that's somebody you. So okay, if you ever want to talk, you know where to find me. In this spot. For just a few comments, I'll tell you something interesting stories. Okay, good. Yes, more Flipside history. So here's where we continue. So Flipside's convenient created by the ancients in the space between dimensions. That means you can open up portals to all the other worlds from there. But on the other hand, it's strangely susceptible to influences from other worlds. So the ancients built the town in a way that would stabilize this effect. And that particular way was, do you know what? The town was built in duplicate with both Flipside and Flopside versions. They realized that light without dark or vice versa would never be stable. You need both sides for perfection, you know. Having two opposite sides is the secret of the town's stability and longevity. I'm all out. Okay. Flopside gossip. Nice. So you heard the famous charmer Merlin moved into Flopside somewhere, right? If she casts a charm on you, good things happen when you defeat enemies. Try it. Oh yeah, but I hear that something's been bothering her lately. We already did that. Oh, chunks! Yes! I'll bite! Let's listen more about chunks. So, Conflict has 4 minions, does he not? The biggest and brawniest of these is one named Chunks. So about this Chunks, he was once the general of an army in a certain land. I hear he led a force of 1,000 strong across enemy lines, but one of his trusted advisors sold him out, and all of his men fell to the enemy. I guess that's when Count Black scooped him up. Black played upon his shame and depression to enlist him in his service. Cruel. Well, that's really mean. That's actually pretty bad. Tribal Darkness, here we go! So have you heard about the Tribal Darkness? Norum and others like him are descendants of this shadowy odd people. Long, long ago, they broke off from the tribe of ancients to live alone. They avoided mixing with other people out of pride, and no one even knows where they went to live. They were so secretive. There are rumors of a secret castle deep in a forest. Must have been lonely. Well, that's only half of the story. Mimi. Okay, let's hear about Mimi. So Count Black has 4 minions, as you know. The one named Mimi has the ability to mimic any person she wants to. She's so good at it that I hear she even sometimes forgets who she is. This Mimi, her true identity is shrouded in mystery. Some say she's a failed pixel experiment of the ancients. Others say she's the unintended creation of a witch. A witch who was researching potions that would allow shape-shifting. If you ever meet her, could you ask her for me? Well, that's really weird. More Tribe of Darkness, yes! So let me tell you more about the Tribe of Darkness I mentioned earlier. They started as a group within the ancients who had more magic power. Fearing their power would be diluted, they forbade marriage outside the group. Their power was considered an important resource by all of the ancients, but no one knows why their power was so important now. One day, they all just disappeared from the tribe of ancients, and since then no one has seen them. Did their games end? All is now shrouded in darkness. That's again only part of the story. Dimentio! Let's hear about that greedy thing. Has 4 minions, as you know. I hear that one of them, Dimentio, wields powerful magic. I don't know where he comes from or who he is, but I hear he approached and befriended the Count all on his own. And the Count even turned him away once. until he read in the Dark Prognosticus about the role of someone similar. Why was he mentioned in the Dark Prognosticus? Sounds fishy to me. I'm all out. Okay, yeah, it's fishy. Don't worry. We final Travel Darkness. Wow, we took care of him. So let me tell you more of the Travel Darkness and why few talk of them. They did something so bad that mentioning them has become forbidden. I hear they stole the Dark Prognostical from the ancients and hid it, but I don't know why they would do such a thing. Some say they did it to use the book's power to enhance their dark magic. Some say they hid it from others who would use it for evil. But I hear it for the last person who was known to possess the book. If the rumors are true, then you know this person as Count Black. Wow. So, of course, Count Black was part of the Tribe of Ancients and, well, then went to the Tribe of Darkness, and I suppose his father was one of the leaders. Nastasia, yes! So you know, Count Black has 4 minions. One is an authoritative young woman named Nastasia, his right hand. She has the ability to brainwash people by looking them in the eyes. She can enslave even very powerful beings this way, and it seems none of the Count's underlings can resist her power. That's how she's able to order them around. She rarely expresses her innermost feelings, but she seems to love the Count. She has eyes only for him, you might say. I'm a little jealous. Wait. Do you like... Okay, that's a little bit weird. Flopside Pit of 100 Trials, I'll buy because we already beat it. So have you heard of the pits of 100 Trials below Flipside and Flopside? I hear they were created long ago to test the forces that guard the pure hearts. The Pit of 100 Trials here is Flopside, was used to study the power of darkness. I don't know exactly what that means, but it sounds pretty terrible. There's even a rumor that treasure awaits those who make it to the bottom. Do you have the courage to find it out for yourself? Already did! Of bats and men. Let's see this. So how would we change the pace and I tell you a nice story for a change? This is one I heard in the distant land long ago. Once upon a time, a man went to look for the girl he loved who was missing. As he passed through a forest, he found the bat stuck in a trap. He set the bat free. It promptly thanked him and disappeared. As he lay down to camp that night, he heard a voice and looked about. He noticed the sky was filled with a huge, round moon. There stood before him a woman he had never seen. The bat had transformed into the species of the one she had fallen for. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. The last part of the story was, the bat pledged eternal loyalty to the man out of love on that night. And that's the end of this story. I wonder what happened to those two. If there's more to that story, then I'd like to hear it. Let me tell you the rest of that story. The man was called Count Black. The woman was called Nastasia. And so, we know the rest of the story. Creation of the pixels. Here's the backstory, finally! So you know how the pixels came to be. A powerful magician among the ancients created them about 3,000 years ago. He did it by transferring a spirit into a vessel he created for that purpose. He's said to have created 12 pixels like this before he passed away. But his apprentices kept researching pixels after his game ended. They learned to create many more pixels based on his original 12. These pixels became widely used as thinking tools for the grateful ancients. Though this work of many pixels, the ancients prospered as they never had before. But that was a long time ago. There are no more pixels now, I understand. Well, except for some of the original pixels who were scattered far and wide. They lie in wait for a new master to arrive. I wouldn't be surprised if there was one hiding here in this very town. I'm all out. Well, that means that the original 12 pixels are our pixels. That is a little bit creepy, don't you think? Let's hear the rest. Pixel Uprising. Oh my god. So have you heard about the Pixel Uprising? It happened in the capital of the ancients some 2,000 years ago. The ancients lived in prosperity thanks to the work of many pixels. But one day that all ended. A huge pixel calling herself the Pixel Queen suddenly appeared. At her command, pixels everywhere rebelled against their ancient masters. It seems that most pixels were well-contained spirits, but she was different. In her case, a demonic spirit was contained within a pixel vessel. And this Queen Pixel had the power to command all other pixels. The ancients had become so dependent on the pixels, they were devastated. they suddenly lost their ability to build and rule their empire effectively. And what happened then, you ask? Come back for the next installment. Well, some people think that the Pixel Queen... Well, let me just finish the story. Pixel Uprising. Alright. So now let's continue my story about the Pixel Uprising. The ancients were overthrown and enslaved by the Pixel Revolt led by the Pixel Queen. In the midst of the ruin appeared the inheritors of the 12 original Pixels. They defeated the waves of Pixel soldiers and freed the enslaved ancients. They used cash cards to trap the mind-controlled Pixel soldiers, then healed them. They saw their friends fall one after the other in battle, but they persevered. The last survivor managed to make it up to the castle of the Queen Pixel. But the Pixel Queen used her powers of illusion to hide. She then unleashed horrific images upon the surviving Freedom Hider. One of the Pixels at this side was immune to this, for it could see truth. It helped the survivor fight, and he and his Pixel finally defeated the Pixel Queen. But in the process, the Pixel's game was ended. Oh, looks like the coins you paid will only get you this far through the story. Thank you. The vanquisher of the Pixel Queen was confronted with an awful truth. It turned out that the Pixel Queen was actually the very first Pixel ever created. The Master Magician had made her after studying the Dark Prognosticus. So when the last surviving apprentice took the last Dark Prognosticus from the Queen, he decided to disappear with the book so that this sort of catastrophe wouldn't repeat. But even as peace returned, the Ancients could not lose their fear of the Pixels. So the elders among the Ancients gathered to discuss what to do. They decided to limit the powers of all Pixels from that day forth, and the creation of new Pixels was outlawed. But as a result, the power and influence of the Ancients began an irreversible decline. Now the secret of Pixel creation is lost forever. The rumors abound of awakening the Ancients and newly created Pixels. Is that true? If you know anything about it, please tell me. Well, truth is, there are two new Pixels. One is called Tippy, which was not a Pixel at first, and the other one is Tiptron, which is by my side, which is basically a robot. The Pixel Queen, thank you. So about the Pixel Queen from the Pixel Uprising, did you know there have been interesting theories published about her? In one book left behind by the Master Magician's apprentice, I found this. The spirit within the Pixel Queen was not a demon, but rather a human. The Master Magician had a beautiful wife, a son, and a daughter. But he lost his wife and son in an accident. Soon after, his daughter caught a terrible illness, and her short game ended. Perhaps he transferred her spirit to a Pixel vessel. Well, that's the theory. Is it possible that the other Pixels were spirits from the game over? Anyway, the person who published this has already disavowed that theory. I mean, it does seem a little unlikely, right? But if it were true, I bet the daughter was so horrified by the deeds of her father that she wanted no one to ever use Pixels again. But what do I know? I do think nothing less would have been broken the Pixels' ancient dependency. Oh, and some say the son of the magician miraculously recovered from the accident. If so, the bloodline of the magician could endure. Did they find happiness? Well, that's the thing. His bloodline would eventually come to Merlin, who is the only other guy in the entire world that knows how to create pixels. Or otherwise. Otherwise what? Well, so that's it. That's the backstory of Paper Mario, Super Paper Mario. Thank you. So that's the backstory of Super Paper Mario. That means, well, that was 25 minutes. That means that, for some odd reason, there was an extremely bad accident, and everything went to crap. 3,000 years ago, the pixels were created. 2,000 years ago, there was a rebellion, and 1,500 years ago, the ancients, the Dark Tribe disappeared, and the pixels were scattered and all that. So that leads 115 years, 1,500 years later. That led to the events of Super Paper Mario, being that the tribe of ancients no longer meddled with anyone else. So when Count Black tried to get together with Timpani, his father didn't allow it and led to the destruction of the Shrine of Darkness and calling Mario here. So that's the thing, and that's the end. So that's it. What is this? 80 bits. 80 bits. What can I buy here? Fresh pasta bunch, power steak, smelly herb. I need these things for recipes. I'll come back here and buy these when I have more things. But okay. The only other thing that I wanted to tell you guys is that you need I was about to say rupees. You need coins to buy map from Flam. There's a lot of maps. They vary in price. 12 maps, as you can see. And these ones you can buy, and you can look for treasure where they are. So I'm gonna buy some of them right now. I'm gonna try to buy them all in behind the off-screen, I mean. And then there's gonna be an episode dedicated entirely to finding the spots where the maps depict stuff. So that's all my coins. And next episode, no, I don't have any more coins, thank you. Next episode though, I'll be going and showing all the minigames inside of Super Paper Mario, as there are actually minigames inside of this place. Just let me go back. Boom. So, thank you guys so very much for watching this. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe to the channel if you really liked the video. And I'll see you guys next time for more Super Paper Mario. When we go and find some minigames. Later, guys.